Man snaps his front teeth after drinking 6 energy drinks a day. A man snapped 4 of his teeth and will need 24 fillings after spending months drinking as many as 6 cans of Monster Energy drink every day. Vinnie Pyner, 21, got hooked on the drink, which is full of caffeine and sugar, to help him stay awake for his college studies. Soon he was drinking up to 45 cans a week, and his mother, Tara, 46, became concerned about his addiction. His front 4 teeth eventually snapped when he bit into an apple after 7 months of guzzling the drink at every meal. Dentists discovered every tooth in his mouth had rotted, and now he will need 24 fillings of dentures, which will cost him £2,000. Unemployed Mr. Pyner, from Margate, is so embarrassed he quit his computing and coding college studies and fears he will never find a job. Mr. Pyner said, "I am not sure what the future holds, but I hope that I can get back on my feet. Monster Energy has completely ruined my life. It started as a way to relieve the stress and pressure from my college course, because you have to be focused when it comes to computing and coding. But I never thought that it would get this bad. It's affected my confidence dramatically." Vinnie says he started drinking Monster Energy shortly before starting his second year studying tech computing and coding at East Kent College, in September 2017. A 500 milliliters can of Monster Energy contains 54 grams of sugars, while the recommended daily allowance of sugar in the UK is 30 grams. It also contains 160 milligrams of caffeine, and the packaging usually contains a warning label advising consumers against drinking more than 1.36 liters, 48 ounces, per day. Vinnie, who ended up drinking 3 liters a day, said, "It started with 3 a day at breakfast, lunch, and dinner so I could stay focused during my studies. I often felt tired and needed the energy drinks desperately." Several weeks into the new term in October 2017, Vinnie started buying multi-packs, which increased his intake independence. Vinnie said, "It was value for money and much cheaper than to buy individual cans. But the temptation of having a pack of 4 and wanting to drink them all at once got hold of me through the caffeine within them. It was like I had to fuel this addiction regularly, and if I didn't I would suffer from caffeine withdrawal symptoms such as severe headaches and muscle pain." At this point, Vinnie's mom Tara started raising concerns. Ms. Pyner said, "I started seeing him coming home regularly with multi-packs, which were the early signs of addiction. I noticed the habit had getting worse and worse as his bedroom bins were always full of the cans. But I never thought that it would get this bad." By Christmas 2017, Mr. Pyner's addiction started to take control, and starting having another 2 cans in between college classes, taking his total to 6 a day. As a result, he started suffering from tooth pain every time he ate. My Pyner said, "Every time I bit down on an item of food it was very painful, so it was always a nightmare every time I had something to eat. I was starting to realize at this point that my addiction to Monster drinks was getting much worse. I never thought to tell anyone, I just coped with the pain." He claims he brushed his teeth twice a day but started getting tooth pain. In March 2018, He bit into an apple and heard a cracking sound. Vinnie said, "I didn't think much about it until I swallowed something hard before realizing that my upper 4 teeth had broken off. I was shocked and at the same time very worried. The damage looked absolutely awful. I couldn't tell my mom because I was so worried about what she might have said and extremely embarrassed about what she had said. So I was trying not open my mouth too wide when I was near Mom." But Ms. Pyner got suspicious after several days and asked him to show her his teeth. She said, "It was absolutely shocking. His upper 4 incisor teeth had completely fallen off and you could see his gum line. It was horrible." Incisors are often the first adult teeth that grow and make up most of our smile, so his smile was completely ruined. At that point, I realized the damage that the Monster energy drinks had been doing to him. It wasn't very pleasant at all. As a mom, it was very hard to take in because, for the last 7 months, this addiction had taken control of his life. Mr. Pyner then immediately sought dental treatment. Dentists found that all of Vinnie's teeth had rotted and was told that he would have to have 24 fillings and a pair of dentures fitted for the front 4 teeth. Mr. Pyner said, "The dentist was extremely shocked to see my teeth and she said that it was one of the worst cases of tooth decay and damage that he had ever seen. Looking at my teeth, I realized what I had done. I was in a complete mess. I couldn't attend college like this, so I had to leave because I couldn't bear the embarrassment." As Mr. Pyner's confidence plummeted, he dropped out of college, and now spends all his time at home and rarely goes out at all. He said, "I can't do much at all, let alone think about my future. I can't apply for any jobs because interviewers will take one look at my teeth and say no straight away. The smile is the first thing you see in a job interview. I had an ambition to become a games designer, but now my hopes have been dashed." He started dental treatment in September and hopes to return to college and get a job soon. Speaking about energy drinks, he said, "Stay away from them, they are completely damaging and they could ruin your life." Monster Energy Drinks has been approached for comment. Energy drinks, are they safe? There has been a stark rise in Britain's thirst for caffeinated drinks. At least 600 million litres are drunk every year, 200 million more than 10 years ago. Figures from the British Soft Drinks Association reveal that the volume of energy drinks consumed in the UK increased from 463 million litres in 2010 to 679 million litres in 2017, with the UK market now worth £2 billion a year. Some 55% of those aged between 12 and 24 years old suffer everything from vomiting and chest pains to even seizures from the drinks, despite most consuming less than the recommended 1 to 2 beverages a day, a Canadian study found last January. As well as the drink's alarmingly high caffeine levels, the researchers believe consuming them with alcohol or during exercise makes them even more dangerous. Previous research has linked energy drinks, such as Red Bull, to obesity, heart abnormalities and even sudden death due to their high sugar and caffeine content. Most energy drink consumers are unaware of the product's main ingredients, health implications or appropriate serving sizes, experts have said. How much caffeine do they contain? A 250 ml serving of a typical energy drink, half the standard bottle or can size, contains 80 mg of caffeine per liter, twice as much as a regular cola drink, but the same as a 60 ml espresso. Experts have warned that caffeine-packed energy drinks could be fueling a record rise in diagnoses of irregular heartbeats, one of Britain's biggest killers. Just one energy drink daily could trigger arrhythmia, an abnormal heart rhythm which increases the risk of stroke fivefold. It is thought that this is because excessive caffeine consumption dramatically increases the amount of calcium released within the heart cells, disrupting the electrical rhythm. Experts also warn the addition of high quantities of sugar in energy drinks could be a reason for their potency. How much sugar do they contain? Campaigns, such as Action on Sugar, have called for a complete ban on the products for under 16s. Their study in December 2017 found that average sugar content was more than an adult's entire maximum daily recommendation for sugar intake in the UK. Likewise, 78% of products exceeded the maximum daily recommendation for sugar intake for a child aged 7 to 10 years, minus 24 grams or 6 teaspoons. Certain manufacturers reformulated before the soft drinks industry levy in April 2018 in the UK. It would mean that one 250 ml Red Bull energy drink containing 27 grams of sugar, 5.5 teaspoons, now costs an extra 6p. Before reformulation in 2017, the Punched Energy and Tropical Guava flavor products from Rockstar contained a staggering 78 grams, or 20 teaspoons, of sugar per 500 ml serving, more than 3 times the daily recommendation of 25 grams for women and 38 grams for men. Now, these drinks contain 24 grams of sugar per 500 ml, the equivalent of 6 teaspoons per 500 ml.